How's it going now, guys? TalkNorwichCity here, back for my match preview, my predicted 11 video ahead of tomorrow night's game, the Tuesday night game against Swindon in the newly named Carabao Cup, which to all of us is the League Cup. And it poses a really interesting night, actually. I'm normally fairly mellow about these kind of nights because you know we're just going to chuck out a second string squad against a pretty average side in front of 10,000 people. And it's just not very fun at all. But I'm really excited about Tuesday night, mainly because I'm going with Gibbo. That's always fun. As well as that, it seems that Daniel Farke is actually going to be taking cup competitions seriously this year. He talked about rhythm, he talked about momentum, and I completely agree with that. As long as we don't get any serious injuries, there's no real reason why you shouldn't start a first 11, a first team. And that momentum, especially when you've got so many new players, I think is going to be very important to us going forwards. So let's get straight into the team then. Let's put that there. A lot of people were saying that they couldn't really work out what was what. I basically have a tripod up here. Hello. And I can't attach a camera to the roof, the ceiling, to point it down. So that's the best we're going to be able to do with it at the moment. Anyway, in goal, I'm going to stick with Gunn. I think he's still getting used to this kind of style of football, sort of passing it out from the back. As much game time for him as possible at Carrow Road would be absolutely brilliant. I suppose you could maybe stick Michael McGovern in there, but at the same time, I think we're trying to get rid of Michael McGovern. We just can't really find anyone to take him. Barring that, you've got Remy Matthews. I'm not really too fussed with the goalkeeper position. I don't think that's a very important part of this team or important part for any of the individual goalkeepers. So stick whoever in goal. I'm not going to be too fussed, but obviously the strongest would be Angus Gunn. Did I say Brian Gunn earlier? I meant Angus Gunn. If not, Guns all in my head. Anyway, that is that. Let's now go with the centre-backs. I'm going to stick with the 3-5-2 with the 3 centre-backs and the 2 wing-backs. So let's get into that. Now, I'm going to have to stick with Zimmerman and Franca. It's always good to get your centre-backs used to each other. As well as that, it seems that Zimmerman is just sort of superhuman and can play any amount of minutes. So fitness isn't an issue there. Next to him, of course, we've got Franca. And then I'm going to stick in Ben Godfrey. Now, I was listening to Paddy Davitt and Michael Bailey speaking, and they weren't too convinced that Ben Godfrey would play. If we go with a 4 at the back, then yeah, he probably won't play. But if we do go with the 5, which I have a feeling we might do, then I think Ben Godfrey is going to be good to get him some game time because I think he might be in and out of the side at times this season, especially when you've got sort of Russ Martin injured, which he's not injured at the moment, but he's certainly not fit. Now, let's go to the right wing back, and I'm going to stick Pinto in there. He seems like he's fit to play, so I'm going to go with Pinto in there. Dropped Vilska out. The team I'm playing here doesn't really fit into it. I know I'm the biggest Yannick Vilska fan there is, but not really the type of game for him. Now, I'm going to have to revert back to my plan that I put out. Now, left wing back. New signing, Stiepermann. Now, this seems where he's going to be playing for us, although it seems like he can play literally anywhere. Check out my Breakfast with TNC video from earlier. I spoke a lot about Stiepermann, but it seems that Stiepermann is going to be playing left wing back in this game. I think that's kind of the only player we know is going to start this game. So that's that. Now, let's go into the midfield. Let's start with Alexander Tete. I think he's going to get a run out. He's fit. He's ready to go. Just didn't feature against Fulham because there's better players ahead of him in Harrison Reed and Mario Vrancic. I don't think either of them are probably going to play this one. So next to him, I'm going to put Tribal in there. Tom Tribal, of course, a new signing as well. Now, Daniel Farke did say that Tribal isn't fully up to match fitness. He hasn't really had a pre-season, so this is the ideal game just to get minutes in the legs. It shouldn't be too demanding against Swindon. Of course, they're going to be stiff competition, but it's going to be slightly more relaxed, and this is just ideal time to get some fitness into Thomas Tribal's legs. Now, attacking-wise, I'm going to go with Wes Hoolahan out on the left-hand side. This kind of game just suits Wes down to the ground, really. He's going to have a lot of space. At home, he always seems to be better at home, in my opinion, for some reason, probably because he has a little bit more space. So Hoolahan out on the left. Out on the right, I'm going to go with Josh Murphy. Spelt his name wrong. Whenever I have to do these, I always spell the easiest names wrong. I'm not too thick, a little bit, but I can spell Murphy just about. And then up front, I'm actually going to go with Marley Watkins. Now, I feel, although it's important to put out a very strong side, I think these kind of games are fantastic opportunities just to experiment a little bit. Watkins is still more than capable, don't get me wrong, but just in a little more of a central position. From what I saw of him against Brighton in pre-season, he was absolutely fantastic, and he was decent against Fulham. It was just his finishing wasn't great. So it'd obviously be great if he can pick up a couple of goals or a goal. So I'm going to put Watkins in there, and that, I think, is my team. Yes, it is. Now, you've got options, of course. You could completely change the formation, which is certainly on the cards, in which case you drop Godfrey out, you put Pinto in right back and Stiepermann in left back. You could play either Vrancic or Reed in the middle of the park, but I don't think we're going to risk them. I think it'd be silly to. Out on the left, I suppose you could put, well, we've got options. You could put Maddison out there, or if you're going to completely change it and play like a 4-1-4-1, then you've got options to play Houlihan and Maddison. I don't know, but I don't think that's going to be on the cards. And if you want to, you could start Jerome or Oliveira, but I can't see that happening either. So that, I hope so, because I've been chopping and changing this side for literally about 2 hours tonight. Just been sat with a piece of paper and a pen and just seeing what formations we can play. I am that sad, yes, I know. But I think that is a very decent team. Not only is it more than good enough to beat Swindon, and still a very strong squad. You've got players in there who are returning from injury, just get minutes under the belt. You've got players who are fully fit, but maybe we can play them in a slightly different position. And players just like Tete and Stiepermann who are just, there, which is good. Let me know what team you would play. Would you completely disregard all of what I've said and play a completely different team? Would you play some more youth players? I don't know. Although I don't think there's too many youth players off the top of my head that could get into this team at the moment. Or would you just go all out and play like Vrancic, Reed, Oliveira? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. I will see you at Carrow Road. I will be there. Check out my Breakfast with TNC video from this morning if you haven't already. And I'll see you very soon. Peace out.
Trying to tell anybody how to live. My only advice is to love and forgive. Everybody born in this world has a gift. The lightning strikes.